welcome to Coffee with Crystal. Today, though, I had my quota of coffee already, so I'm on to the water with the BCAAs. So that's what it's about. Sometimes I'll drink water, sometimes I'll drink wine, sometimes I'll have coffee. I'll always have something to drink. So today's episode, I just wanted to read out the question and then we'll get right into it. So the question is, hey Crystal, so I realized that I seem to have a problem. See, I have started to practice paying attention to my thoughts, and I realize that sometimes I catch myself passing judgment onto another person. Sometimes it's something really simple like, how can she wear that? To, wow, she looks so pretty, must be nice. Other times I've caught myself gossiping amongst my friends without even realizing this. My question is, why do I do this, and how can I stop? I don't want to be that person anymore. And she didn't leave a name. So, okay, let's get right into the gist of it. First of all, thank you so much for being brave enough to email me and ask me these questions. So, when it comes to judgment, passing judgment of any kind, the big thing to me is bring it back to you. So there is always something in the situation. So either you mentioned you saw somebody, a girl, and your immediate response inside yourself was, how can she wear that? I would automatically turn it back inward. So what is it about what she's wearing that makes you uncomfortable? Okay, because how another person decides to show up in their own body and take up space in their body and in their world, in our world, but basically in her own home, which is her body, really has nothing to do with us. So, I mean, bring it back to you. What is it about this situation that makes you feel uncomfortable or uneasy for you to pass that kind of judgment? The same thing goes for the second comment when you said how you see another pretty woman and right away your instinct is, wow, must be nice. So this again goes into our own insecurities, and unfortunately we have been programmed and conditioned as women to think that it's pretty much like a zero-sum world, meaning if another woman is beautiful or attractive or what have you, that means that automatically subtracts from your own beauty and self-worth, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So introspection work always. Sometimes though, like in your other comment where you said sometimes you're amongst friends and you catch yourself, you guys are already in the midst of gossiping. This is very common in female culture, unfortunately. That honestly just perpetuates the cognitive dysfunction that we're in, the cognitive distortions, which basically is just our brain's way of feeding into the lies. So there is actually neural pathways that are created with everything that we see that is untrue. We can actually manifest it into being true. So a cognitive distortion would be sometimes when you look in a mirror and all you see are your flaws, then your flaws become bigger and then they overconsume you. So that's all you see. So gossiping is actually a really great way to continue on that negative pathway of the cognitive distortion. So oftentimes we don't even realize that we're gossiping with our girlfriends until we're in it, right? You know, what I like to say in those instances, because they can get awkward, is finish the sentence with, but she's doing the best she can, right? You know what I mean? But she's handling life she can. She's really killing it at life. So, because honestly, what that person is deciding to do with their life or whatever it is you're gossiping about has nothing to do with you, okay? You're not in her shoes. I'm going to just tell you, bring it back to you. So how she's choosing to live her life or whatever she's choosing to do with her life has nothing to do with you. But it does in the sense that it has to do with what is it lighting up inside of you? Why are these insecurities coming out? And really go explore. So instead of what we like to do is we like to pass judgment on other people, and then we pass judgment onto ourselves. So I'm going to say, instead of passing judgment onto yourself, get curious and ask yourself, what is it about this situation or this person or whatever it is that is lighting you up? What is it about? Because honestly, we are all just images of each other. And if something is like lighting you up, that's because there's still work there to do there. So you can just take this as an opportunity to really get curious about yourself and see what it is about that. Is it, if you're uncomfortable with what you see that other person wearing, is it because you aren't brave enough to wear that? And by brave, I don't mean like, good for her. I just mean like you're not brave enough to get back into your own body, to occupy the space within your own body, and then actually show up authentically, unapologetically, in front of everybody, and not give a in your own body. So could it be that? So yeah, I think that the best way to stop judgment and that kind of negative feedback would really just be to get curious within yourself, have these conversations with your girlfriends, because honestly, we don't always talk amongst each other because we want to be mean. I know that the mean girl syndrome is really prevalent. I know that it's legit real life, but I wouldn't say that every time girls talk amongst each other, the intention behind it is not always to be mean. But it could be. So get curious about your behaviors, get curious about how you're deciding to show up in your own body, and really just reflect that. And yeah. So if you have more questions, I love questions surrounding mindset, nutrition, movement, any kind of jazz. Email me, crystal@feedthatglow.co, and get that glow on, girl. Peace, love.